Thank you, John. Folks, I am so excited to have you all here. Now, before we get started and into the meat of things, I have to right the record and make a correction to some of the things that John shared. He gave a fabricated reason for why we're here in Nashville, and I just need to really set that straight. You see, John's been with MediaPost running these events for, upwards of 20 plus years, and as you will learn over the next few days, no one loves karaoke more than John Whitfield. And after almost 20 years of running these events, he wants out. And so he is truly hoping, I believe, that here in Nashville, there will be some record producer that listens to him at 2 a.m. crooning into the microphone and says, "That's the future of music."
A 55-year-old man. Yes.
So look, I hope everyone had great travel in, safe travel in. Hope you enjoyed the cocktail party last night. And you should all be here on a very nice, rested 8 hours of sleep. I hope so. I see a lot of bright eyes and bushy tails. Now, I want to start with a general survey of the room. Who here had the most magical trip into Nashville? You woke up yesterday perfectly rested, no travel scaries. Your Lyft, it booked instantly. And when you got in the car, it smelled like peonies, and the driver didn't make any small talk at all, not a peep the whole way. At the airport, there was no wait at security. TSA high-fived you as you breezed on in, headed to the Starbucks right next to your gate where your mobile order was waiting for you, and man, they nailed it. Now the flight, which is going to remain nameless because we have so many airline brands in this room right now, this generic flight, this unbranded brand, they just knocked it out of the park. There was no one crowding the gate. When you actually got on, you had the row to yourself. They had all 4 Kung Fu Panda movies for you to pick from. An embarrassment of riches. Now, I could keep going, but I think you get the general gist of what I'm describing. So I want to know who here had that type of experience coming in. Of course not. Because at the end of the day, as much as we love our travel, travel can be a total pain in the butt. It can be a hassle. It's about the destination, and sometimes the journey to get there is filled with struggle and these little irks and problems that get in the way. Despite all of the beautiful photography that lines the boarding bridge to the plane, despite the luxurious videos that we create that show travelers gliding through airports and Ubers and hotels with ease, travel can really be difficult. It's a hassle to the point where when I was deciding how to come to Nashville, I actually elected to drive from my home in Atlanta, which was about 5 hours or so, just so I didn't have to deal with all of that. It also helped that my Spotify audio credits had just renewed, so I was definitely in my comfort zone, had a good book to keep me company. But look, for most of you in this room, travel is second nature. For our customers, though, it's a spectrum. It's a broad range in their comfort, their aptitude, their confidence, their frequency, and their general delight in this experience of getting from point A to point B and everything that entails. But what drives their decision making? Where to go, when, how to get there, where to stay, and then the cycle repeats. What's going to drive their decision making the next time around? Those expectations and priorities, they're going to shift. They're going to change over time. They're going to change with generations. They're going to change with the seasons. How can your marketing intervene at the right moment in time with the right message? Is your loyalty program structured with the right benefits, partnerships, rewards to incentivize that next return visit? And are you balancing your customer experience to delight your core customer while also thinking through how it extends to that next generation of core customer? And are you delivering a modern digital experience that reduces friction and elevates the end-to-end traveler journey? That's what these next few days are going to be about, how we elevate the experience across our marketing, our digital and physical properties, in our loyalty programs and beyond. It's about how you get me to fly next time and be excited about it. Okay, so let's get into it. As a reminder, everything we say on stage here is recorded and on the record. A core element of what we do at MediaPost is journalism. It's providing a platform and an opportunity to showcase the fine work that you all are doing day in and day out. But it's also the off-the-record conversations where some of the most enriching dialogue happens. So at noon, we do turn off all the cameras and we move into our roundtables. These are deeper, off-the-record conversations where we can talk and dive into some of the things we discussed on stage. All right, so what's in store for today? You're going to hear from Mikey Sadowski, the Vice President of Global Communications at Intrepid Travel, about how he turned their customers into passionate fans and advocates, mobilizing them into a social community that gives greater credibility to their brand with prospective travelers. You're going to hear from Blade's Vice President of Marketing, Christiana Weller, on how they are driving urgency, excitement, and that elusive FOMO moment with their guests that every marketer seeks to drive through a new experiential offering and SMS strategy. You're going to hear from a panel of media experts on how to realign your brand and performance efforts to tap into culture as a driver of a more holistic media strategy that blends awareness and conversion. But first, as we all settle in and finish our coffee, we got to be honest with ourselves about something. Everyone here can recite their brand pillars. You can talk about your positioning statements, the reasons that you are a unique force in the market that is going to attract generation after generation of guests. But how do we ensure that truly carries through? How do we create meaningful differentiation for our brands and our assets that resonates with that next generation? Because look, you've spent decades cultivating your brands, but for millennials, for Gen Z, and soon Gen Alpha, have you taken the right steps to modernize and position yourself in a way that will appeal to them? At IHG, they're tackling this problem head on, this opportunity to cultivate that next crew. So here to share how she's blending laid-back luxury with hyper-local experiences, elevating her portfolio of brands to attract guests and next-gen talent, I'm really excited to welcome to the stage our opening keynote, Vicky Poulos, IHG's Head of Luxury and Lifestyle Brands. Welcome, Vicky.